Hello everyone and welcome to the STPL. We're here for day number 1 of week 3 of STPL Season 2.
Wait. Oh, there I am. Okay, yes, we're here. All right, sick. Welcome everybody. STPL, 3 weeks and it hasn't burned down yet.
Yeah.
Somehow keeps coming back, and so do you guys. There's only 32 of you here, so some of you haven't told your friends about it. I actually was looking through the list of Brood War supporters in chat, and I know at least 10 of them have Twitter accounts and haven't tweeted about STPL kicks.
Wow.
Does that make you feel like they aren't your real friends kicks?
It does. It's quite disappointing, but there's still plenty of time, so you can get on that while we're waiting to get in the first games, obviously. Speaking of the games we're going to be having today, first of all, let's just have a quick look at the team rankings at the end of week 2. Obviously, we won't go through this every day, but currently Soul and White Clan are at the top of the table. Soul just ahead by 1 loss. They haven't lost a game yet, so this week will be the time when people are going to be looking to try and knock them down a peg. But the teams we've got today, Clan ReV starting us off. They're actually in 3rd place, which is really, really good for them. Last season they struggled a bit. We've got BuLL a little bit further down the table. We've also got Red and Naz, who are currently tied in 6th place. So this is going to be an important game for them.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously, you know, standings don't really matter at the beginning of the season. But for the teams at the bottom, what's worrying is that a lot of these teams were at the bottom last season. So obviously, you know, you don't want to see trends there. So also our 2 new teams were Nice and Eternal Friends. And certainly seems like Nice is doing pretty well. They're 5-5, just kind of getting used to the way that STPL plays. But Eternal Friends, struggling to be sure. But hey, at least they show up.
Yeah, and EF have gone against 2 of the stronger teams as well. They were up against Soul yesterday, and they lost 4-0, but the games were quite close. And if you think about Soul's roster, it kind of makes sense that they lost, because Soul have by far the best roster, I think, out of any team. So looking at the top 10, speaking of Soul, you can see they've got 4 of their players in there. Now, we do have 2 players that we'll be seeing today, Eon Zerg and Dragon from Naz. We'll be seeing them in set 2. But first of all, we are going to be heading in to our first series, which is going to be BuLL versus ReV. This should be quite a fun series. Both of these teams are quite evenly matched, I would say. And there's a good amount of matches coming from varied players.
Yeah, I would say ReV is kind of, I don't want to say overperforming, but they're doing pretty well. And the head-to-head means that, you know, Clan ReV are looking for revenge. Clan ReV for revenge.
Oh man, that was good. I never thought of that, but let's have a look at who is going to be playing today. We're going to start with a TBT, which still surprises me that happens now. It's going to be Reina, who is BuLL team's best player, I believe, against Medino, who is arguably Clan Revolution's best player as well. So that'll be a sick matchup. We're going to have a TVP between FlyMio and Narsil. That's going to be on the debut match on BlitzX. We're going to have a ZBT between Dark and Incomplete on Multiverse, and then a PvP between Cruzago and CRVT on Whiteout.
Oh boy, what could possibly go wrong here? I guess we don't have one of every matchup, but we have
PvT.
Diversity. Oh, okay, it is PvT. Anyway, don't believe his lies, chat.
Yeah, it looks like Dark actually race picks Protoss against Terran, so I'll have to fix that afterwards, but luckily enough, we can do that while we're in the game. So having a look at our first players here. Reina starting for BuLL once again with his amazing haircut. Looks like he's out of kind of like an 80s flick or something, but I mean, his haircut fits perfectly here, I guess. But he's got a 60% win rate, by far the best player on BuLL, and he played an incredible game against Too Many Leaks on Desperado last week.
Did I watch that one? Yeah, I guess I did. Yeah, wow, okay. I remember. Too Many Leaks has a fantastic name. That's Edward Snowden's Brood War account.
It is a pretty good name. And then for ReV, we are going to have Medino. He is one of my favorite Terran players to watch in the STPL. He's won an incredible amount of games. He's 75% win ratio, yet he's only ranked 22, so he needs to get a few more wins under his belt to up that rank. He's definitely a little bit lower rank than I'd say he should be, but he did beat BuLL, and he also beat Spire from Seoul, and he's actually one of the only players that's taken down BuLL, and that was in a TVT, so Reina's going to have his work cut out for him.
Oh wow, I didn't realize that. Oh yeah, Kix, what's up with the stats? Because I remember sometimes we had some weird stats. Let's get into like our map, because the map stats were kind of weird for me. Actually, no, I think it was the team stats.
Yeah, the team stats I luckily fixed. I figured out what it was. It took me about 2 hours staring at it, but I worked out what the problem was. So they are all perfect now. I even counted them just to make sure. That took me a while, but it was all good. Having a look at New Tornado, this was used as the ace map, or the ace map even in week 1. So this is going to be the first time we'll see it properly. It's going to be around for a while now. Through the next 2 weeks, it'll be the first 2 maps. So the only TVT we've had on here so far was Koga versus Marwin, and that was amazing.
Okay, well, I can't complain with that. Yes, that was actually amazing. That's still one of my favorite games of the season by far. It's actually highlighted on the STPL YouTube channel. So if you type in, and I'm going to spell it out and be really annoying because you could just type it in instead of me having to say this, like youtube.com/STPL. Wait, is that the actual link?
STPL TV is the link.
STPL TV. youtube.com/STPL TV. Oh wow, it works, Kix. You're a genius. Yeah, go there. You can watch it. It's right there on top. Well, not on top. It's there. Go watch it. It's dope. But we have another TVT coming up today, so I can't wait.
Yeah, let's get into game number 1. It's going to be Reina versus Medinho. Okay, starting us off here in the 12 o'clock position, we do have the dark blue Terran fighting for ReV. It's Medinho.
And his opponent is Rainer, who's in the teal color. So he's going to be fighting as the mobile minerals on your mini-map. That's why they call it the mini-map, or the minerals that move around, because he's teal colored. I can't believe they're like, okay, let's put more colors into Brood War. And then they're like, well, what colors should we pick? Okay, well, first of all, we need to make it look like minerals are moving around. So definitely those colors. Then let's take some of the dirt from the tile sets. Let's make all of those the colors. And so some of these tile sets, gray and black especially, can be really rough on some maps too. But they also added cobalt, which on a space tile set is that's a rough one too. But nothing quite like trying to tell cyan apart from minerals.
Honestly, like, there's a lot of, I'd say controversy around the colors, but I genuinely do not mind any of them. Even cyan, yes, the minimap shows it looks like minerals, but when you are playing a 1v1, you will likely be using shift tab anyway. If not to make your opponent red and you teal, you'll at least make them red on the minimap. I don't think I've ever seen a player who doesn't do that. And yeah, it can be annoying sometimes. It's especially worse in team games, and that's why I think the best thing they could possibly do is just add it as a toggle, kind of like the extended unit sprite limit thing they did. It's like an option when you host the game.
Yeah, I guess I can see that. Well, anyway, we can also see the games. We can talk about what's happening. It is a TVT, and so we're going to be looking for things like gas timings, like numbers of factories. Well, I guess we don't have any factories yet, but there hasn't been anything aggressive or weird done yet. And at least it appears to me that all of the timings are very similar, Kix. Would you agree?
Yep, everything is looking quite similar. It is a TVT. Now, TVT, one of the best builds is 14cc, but when you're maybe not 100% sure on what your opponent's going to do, it's not the safest thing. Obviously, sort of BBS isn't super popular, at least in the TVTs we've seen in STPL, so both of them playing relatively safe, just going for a single factory. Reyna's pulled entirely off of gas, whereas Medinho has stayed on. So Mad is likely going to go into... Oh, there we go. He's pulled off now. So we are going to have an expansion coming up for both players just after.
Okay, yeah, nothing crazy. But just gotta push the SCVs out of each player's respective base. Okay, I'm not... Okay, it was... Wow, this is so weird watching the teal player, because when the teal pixels move around, it looks like the non-teal pixels are moving around, which makes me think it's an SCV, but it's not. So, anyway. Ugh. I'm really going to have tons of fun with this. Oh, trying to block the SCV from getting in. The SCV is almost getting in because it almost killed the Marine. God,
oh, man. SCVs are strong, man.
They're so good.
That's easily why SCVs, like, have you ever listened to the SCV's voice line? All they want to do is get out because it's so dangerous in there. It's not only dangerous for the people the SCV's attacking.
Get me out of here. Yeah. Oh, a classic. Wow. Thanks for that trip down memory lane, Kicks.
You say it's kind of funny, like you say it's a trip down memory lane, but and in a weird way it kind of is. It's just kind of strange to think of it like that way, especially given I've been playing Brood War yesterday for like 4 hours. But you never pay any attention to the voice lines.
You have a problem, Kicks.
Well, the problem I had was definitely in one of my games against Armada, where I tried to replicate what Radley did on Neo Arkanoid, and I did it very badly.
Why would you do that to yourself? Oh my gosh.
Fun, man.
Like, hey guys, oh yeah, it sounds like tons of fun there, Kicks. I'll bet you just had a blast.
It was. I actually did get the nuke off, but I didn't kill nearly as much stuff. And then I tried to go like bio off of it, and I didn't get any bio upgrades because my macro was bad. So yeah, we don't talk about that game, but we've got a little bit of a vulture. I'm trying to skirmish in the middle of the map.
I mean, it's 2 versus 3, but it's actually 2 versus 1.5. Nice repair on these vultures. That's actually really, really clutch. So instead of being 2 versus 3, it's 2 versus 300 SCVs repairing. So nice. That was actually really well defended. Because obviously, if they can micro back into the main, you're just not gonna have a good time. So, yeah, both players defending adequately, landing the barracks at the natural just for a little bit of BM there. Nice job, Rainer. Style points.
Well, it's not only BM; it also makes it harder for Medinho's vultures to get out. So that's a really nice play. Obviously, if you think your opponent's going for like 3-fact Volt or something like that, you can block their natural so the vultures get stuck on the SCVs.
How many games do you go against 3-fact vulture, Kicks?
On 2 base a lot. It's a really common opening. Just going mass Volt early game is really, really common.
Okay. I don't know. I was watching a game between, I think it was Doc Holiday and Seriosity today, and Doc's like trying to play like the normal like or I guess he was going like 2-fact or like 1.5-fact expand kind of thing, and then Seriosity walks into his natural with like 15 Goliaths, and he's like, "What are you doing? That's not a thing." So I guess I can commiserate with your wacky builds that you have to deal with, Kicks.
Wait, was this Doc Holiday or was this 80s mullet?
Yeah.
Doc Zerg.
Oh, 80s mullet.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah. Okay, so
I don't know. They all look the same to me.
Reyna's going into 4-fact. We've got Medinho going into 3. He's got his armory going with +1 already on the way, so that's a benefit. Reyna's obviously delayed that to get more vultures out early on. This is kind of that vulture style we were talking about a little bit there, and this is one of the reasons why Reyna kind of wanted to keep Medinho back in his base, because if you get a good position with your vultures when mines pop, which are about to... Wow, he actually delayed mines a very long time. Never mind. I was going to say you can put some sick mines up.
Wait until the vulture mine drags happen. When the flying mines chase the floating vultures, that's what's going to end the game, Kicks. No. Both players are scouting each other out, but thankfully, because of the few Goliaths sprinkled into Medinho's army, that allows him to pick off the factory, which means that it's going to be a little bit before Rainer can actually see what's happening on the other side of the map. Imagine being a Terran and not being able to see what's happening everywhere on the map, Kicks.
Yeah, it's difficult, and not only that, if you lose your barracks, you can't add any additional factories, so Medinho is going to add his 4th. He could add a 5th factory after this as well, but the way Medinho plays, I think we're more than likely going to see a starport coming up from him next. And also going into that starport gives you the ability to get the Science Fleet and obviously go straight into +2 attack, which is super important.
a starport, they wouldn't. I'm just kidding. I think the biggest thing to watch out for is going to be, I mean, I guess it's DVT, right? So the positioning out on the map. But currently, because Raynor went for pure Vulture instead of adding those Goliaths in, he actually has massive minefields all the way across the map. And, you know, because it is Neo Tornado, that can actually be super, super huge because it can be really difficult to reposition your army all the way over to the other side.
Yeah, these minefields give you ultimate vision as well. Like, if Medinho is going for some kind of drop play, it won't matter because you'll see it long before it ever gets to your base. And I mean, not CRBT, Raynor is doing a great job just spreading out his vultures, spreading out his mines, just making it really impossible for Medinho to try and push forward. Now, the way it looks at the moment, I think we could have another game like we had between Marwyn and Kogut, because neither player really wants to put too much pressure on right now.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, what's that? A Terran player wanting to macro instead of put pressure on? I'm so surprised, Kix.
It's
but yeah,
yeah,
they're just gonna macro it out. What are we having? Like 3 factories added on? Okay, what's the total factory count here? Let's see what's going on. It's 4 factories versus 4 factories. Never mind. That was anticlimactic.
Yeah, Raynor can't actually add any factories, so only just now adding the barracks, but delaying his barracks did allow him to get the command center up faster at his third, so looks like we'll have that third come up quicker. Obviously the additional gas is going to help, but with the lower factory count a little bit longer, things are going to go well for Medinho, but you can already see Raynor is actually going into 4 tanks at a time now, and this is a massive, massive thing in TVT if you can get that going.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I mean, tank count is obviously kind of the thing. I guess the only other way to do it would be, or to win with a low tank count, is if you had like I said, like one of those weird Goliath strats, or if you switched into like 2-port Wraith or something at one of these points to really catch your opponent off guard. Because for the most part, it is just ground.
All the
units.
SCVs.
But now finally, yeah, both players adding on their starports. But yes, in fact, these SCVs very juicy and vulnerable, but they're not going to get picked off. Wow.
Yeah, Medinho must have not seen them in his vision. I mean, this is a relatively quick third for Raynor, but Raynor's had map control, so there's no reason why he wouldn't be doing this. It's kind of funny that Medinho can see Raynor, but Raynor can't see him, so we're not going to see any aggression. But if Medinho can hold this position, if he can get some mines up there, this would be really good, but he's not even upgrading mines. Oh wait,
oh wow, yeah, you're right.
No, he has, sorry, he's just used the wall, I'm just blind.
Yes, okay, thank you. Thank goodness, Kix, because I was pretty sure both players have mines on the map, so I'm glad we can now confirm that. Thanks for making sure both players have mines, Kix.
Well, for a second I was like, oh, if he could use mines, so I was clicking on the vultures, and I'm like, wait, he doesn't have the upgrade, it's not showing. It's like, no, it's fine. Raynor going into a 5th factory now, and one of the kind of funny things here is Medinho had the upgrade advantage early on, but Medinho didn't add a starport still, so there's no science facility coming, and +2 is actually going to be behind Raynor's, and that's a massive advantage in TVT.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I mean, +2 is the thing. If you have +2, that means that you will always 2-shot tanks, which is super key in TVT. It also means that you, I guess you're going to 2-shot vultures anyway, but the idea is it's strong, it's powerful, it's what you want first. Because if you have it first, as soon as you get that upgrade, you can go, and for the most part, you'll make it happen. You know, as long as you're not super outnumbered or anything. But let's see what the play is like here from Raynor. He's got tanks and vultures versus just vultures. And mines notwithstanding, that's going to be pretty good for the player with tanks. So you can see Raynor, a dominant victory down south, and now he's actually going to push northward. Does he have any... wow, okay, watch. Oh my gosh, this is going to be tragic. Oh, no, like this, no! Okay, well, that was bad.
Okay, I missed the mine drag because I was watching some vultures from Medinho come in there to try and do some damage, but Raynor has actually built a full wall off at his 3rd base. Now, the one problem Medinho did have was he didn't have enough mines in the middle of the map, and now he's got tons of them, so... Oh no, the mine! Okay, whew, that was close.
Wow, okay, alright. I'm gonna have to reset my pacemaker here. What was that?
Now we can already see that Reyna is going to move most of his tanks to try and secure this base in the 2 o'clock. The 2 o'clock base and the 7 o'clock base are going to be the most important bases on the map, because when the map splits, it's going to split diagonally. That's the way New Tornado kind of works. But it means these bases are heavily contested, and if you can control this area as Reyna, you've got a really easy drop path into Medino's main.
Oh, that actually makes a lot of sense. Yeah, you don't usually start thinking about drop paths just yet. You can tell because neither player has giant turret rings around their base. Actually, yeah. I guess there are quite a few turrets for Raynor on the northern side, but on the southern side of Medino's main, there's just nothing. So if you wanted to doom drop, this is wide open, asking to be doom dropped.
Yep, and here we go, Medino coming in with 4 dropships, going to be heading around all of the mines for Reyna. I was saying before about how Reyna had really good mine locations, but he didn't mine the left-hand side of the map for some reason. And this means this drop is going to go into this 3rd base, and that full wall off of depots is going to hurt him.
Yeah, it sure is. I'm waiting. Here it comes. 6 o'clock, moving in. There is a turret there, but something tells me that's not going to be enough to stop 3 dropships kicks.
Yeah, one of the dropships though actually getting very low. Bit of a mistake there by Medino, but I guess you can't really do too much about it. But look at this, he's going to pick up a load of units. He knows he doesn't need to leave a ton down there, and he is going to go straight into the main. +2 attack is on an armory here. This is going to be devastating.
Yeah, +2 attack, canceling that is every Terran player's dream. Also, by the way, he's hitting 2 bases at the same time, and there's nothing that's going to save this southern base.
Yeah, I mean, he can't even get any units down there anymore. You can already see he's lifted off his command center. He's going to fly it elsewhere. The armory goes down with +2, and even though Reyna started getting +2 first, he's not going to have it finished. I really don't understand why Reyna just didn't send all his SCVs from the main to deal with that. There was only 2 tanks and a Goliath.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Wow. In the end, this is a huge move for what?
I was going to say the CC is going to burn down as well.
Is it really? Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's tragic. 21, 20. Oh, are there SCVs coming to save it? No? Oh, man. I'm so disappointed. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No! The tragedy.
Yep, now Medino has almost finished +2. He still has his dropship count. We've actually got an engineering bay that's getting taken down by some turrets here with the Goliaths. You can already see Medino has started preparing for drops, but Reyna still doesn't actually have a big dropship count. So he's not going to... does he even have a single dropship? Yeah, he's got 2 of them in the middle of the map. So it's going to be a lot harder for Reyna to gain a foothold in this game. He's supply blocked from losing about 7 depots at that 3rd base. And he needs to expand again.
When you put it that way, it sounds a lot worse than it actually is.
And look at this.
Damn, okay.
The
160 out of 42.
Sorry, I was going to say the turret ring over on the 2 o'clock base can get sieged down by a tank in the main, so those turrets are forfeit, and that's going to be even easier for Medino to fly his dropships around.
Wow, that's actually disgusting. Oh my gosh, you can siege and you can't even rebuild them. What? This is so stupid. Now he's going to have to, like, I don't know how you, like, get turrets up there, but that's... You can siege across that?
Yep.
So... Wait, how are you... Oh my gosh, that's so dumb. Oh my god.
The thing is, it doesn't hit anything important. Like, if you want to build turrets, you need to build them a little bit further back, and it's not the biggest deal, because as long as you've got the turrets, they'll shoot the dropships down. But look at Medino, he's using his dropship micro again. He's sending 4 drops over to the high ground above Reyna's natural, and if you control this land, you control Reyna's ability to cycle units around, and that's massive.
Yeah. No, you are correct. That's actually gigantic. Let's keep an eye on the tanks in the middle. Oh, just funneling tanks into this death zone. Reyna is losing so much trying to deal with these tanks.
Yeah, Medino is starting to run away with this game. He's got a massive bank already. He's maxed again. And he seems to be an unstoppable force in TVT because he's taking the other main. He's going to get this full gas. One benefit Reina will have is on this map, one of the defining features is the natural minerals are actually 2,000, so they're higher than the main. So Reina's not going to mine out for a very long time, but it's whether or not he can actually deal with these units.
Yeah, I mean, now that you mention it, they just won't die. Oh, Rainer, it feels like he's really slipping at this point. I mean, the supply block hurt. He's still supply blocked, by the way, and he's not building any supply depots. So I think he's going to do the tried and true Terran strat of when you're maxed out, or when you don't, or when you get supply blocked, you just go trade your units, because he is not building any more supply depots, and he's been stuck at 150 forever.
Oh, Medino's going to lose all these tanks, so this is a big move by Reina. He's obviously secured his high ground again, and now Reina is the one with the units in the dropships. Maybe he can make something happen, but just look at the defense that Medino has on every single one of his bases against drops, and he is going mass starport for mass rates.
Oh, man, I knew we were going to see this eventually, Kicks. I mean, I guess it just had to happen, right?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. The only trouble is, we saw this with Marwyn the other week. Essentially, when you go mass rates, if you do not kill your opponent with it, if they go mass BC, you lose eventually. So we'll have to see if we get to that stage in the game. We're only 19 minutes in, but oh, we're going to have drop action. Obadinho scans ahead, sees the drops coming in for Reina, and pulls back.
Wow, that was clutch. Man, if you don't catch that, all of a sudden you lose this base again? That would basically be game over for Rainer.
Yeah, I mean, Reina's in a really bad spot. He doesn't have a bank to do anything, and Medino can afford to lose some units because he's going to refresh them with these rates. Now, I think +2 attack is finally done. No, +2 attack isn't even finished yet for Reina. He's actually got +2 plating first. And I mean, upgrading +3 plating is crazy.
So much.
Yeah, I mean, both of them are actually on 2-2 now. It wouldn't surprise me to see Medino go into double armory for starport upgrades. Yeah, he's actually going to build another one over in the top left-hand corner. And you already see Medino's taken his half of the map. There's absolutely nothing that Reina can do to contest this.
I mean, what are you supposed to do? I mean, it would be so tedious. Does he have a science vessel out yet?
I wouldn't have thought so. Vessels aren't super important in TBT, though.
Well, I mean, it would really help to clear massive minefields and get the high ground vision, because that's all that's in the southern part of the map. It's mines and high ground vision for Medino. So, good luck. He's trying to scan and see, or Medino's trying to scan and see exactly what the lay of the land is. And I think he realizes he has a massive advantage.
Yeah, you can already see Medino pulling units over to his 7 o'clock base here. He's going to get that gas. Gas, obviously the most important resource in StarCraft, but more so in TVT, as with less gas you get less dropships, less rates, and less tanks as well. So Reina's going to try and make something happen. He's only got 4 dropships though. They're not full up, and the way Medino spread all his stuff, it's going to be really difficult to actually find a place to drop.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. What in your expert Terran wisdom, Kicks, is the best place to drop? Because I mean, I guess there's not really. It's like, which is the least bad place to drop?
Okay, well, he has a path into the main. You can see just to the left of the turrets over by the 2 o'clock. If you scan ahead and see this, you can actually thread the needle as such and get those tanks next to the factories. If he can do that, and he controls the high ground above the natural of Medino, he can definitely win this game. You cut the production, and you cut the lifeblood of Terran as such. So it's all dependent on whether or not you can find that, but he's going to need to try and secure his own other main as well. So that's what he's going to do.
Alright, I'm a believer. Never say I didn't trust you, Kicks.
Well, we can already see the mines giving vision of the dropships. Let's see what the drop's like. He's got good dropship micro. It's not easy to do this, but dropship on dropship.
Wow. This is crazy. Everything killing everything. There's no good way to commentate this other than that Rainer is probably going to win this.
Yeah,
probably.
He just about wins the engagement, and not only that, he does secure his second main. So even though he's behind, now he has the opportunity to get another 2 bases, and the game will continue to go on.
It sure will, Kicks. Wow. Doesn't it just? Yeah, no, we're gonna keep at this for a little bit longer, but I mean, at the same time, it doesn't seem like Raynor is really securing a whole lot. I mean, he did a sick drop there, but you can actually see there's a command center for Medino actually floating into, or no, it's not Medino, it's blue on the top, but it's Raynor's command center. Can't even mine because there's a mine underneath it.
Yeah, and this is so annoying. The funny thing is he does have a Goliath there, but Wraiths are coming in. He's trying to snipe the dropships. There's no Goliaths here.
Oh, wow, he's actually just gonna get it. Oh my god, 1, 2, 3, 4, they all die. Wow, what a huge move by Medino.
Yeah, not only this, he stopped the ability of Raynor to do any damage to him anywhere on this map, and he is going for a physics lab. So it's going to be mass battle cruisers coming up behind this for Medino, and these Wraiths, they have done their job. They've killed all of the dropships, and Medino is now completely tight and safe.
Wow, the things you say, Kicks. Jeez. Okay. Yes. Whew. Yeah, he sure is, Kicks. I concur. Where do you attack right now? He's literally taken every base on his side of the map. And he actually could start taking bases on the other side of the map, but I mean, it's hard as a Terran player to mine from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases, because then SCVs are taking up just a million years of your army.
Yeah, we can already see that Medino has 72 SCVs right now with his mineral bank. He should probably start thinking about trading some of them away. Now, Raynor does still have a chance. He's going to have to grab all of his army and push towards this other main. There's not actually that many units there, but the problem is if he doesn't break this base, there's going to be 6 battle cruisers at a time. And you can't really contest that with just Goliath, so you need lockdown. And Raynor doesn't have the resources to do that.
Yeah, I mean, Raynor's resources are really just nothing to write home about. I mean, he has a little bit of a bank, but let's see what we can make happen here as Medino tries to break into the 2 o'clock location, we'll call it. He's got his cloaked raids on the command center, so that's going to go down. Siege tanks on the ground, so everything there is going to go down. And wow, what a beautiful move there by Medino.
Yeah, but you can already see the race from Medino has scared Raynor. Raynor is adding way too many Goliaths into his army. His tank count is obscenely small. And now he's going to be trying to push into 3-2 or 3-3 tanks even on the high ground. This is not an engagement you want to be taking as Raynor.
I mean, he has to take it, right? He's just trying to make something happen anywhere. It's just not working. Like, it's okay, but his units are all going to die. And I don't know if he can replace them, Kicks.
Yeah, I mean, he is mining from that bottom left main now, but that was a huge win for Medino there. He also took out one of the bases from Raynor. And all these mines are suddenly coming into use. Oh, he gets a nice mine. Oh my god, that was so close. He nearly lost like 4 tanks to a mine. But Medino is so far ahead, it doesn't really matter at this point. Raynor is in big trouble.
Yeah, I mean, Raynor's been in big trouble for like the last 20 minutes, so. Well, maybe not. That's 15 minutes there. I'll be generous. But for the most part, this is very, very difficult for Raynor. The only thing he really has going for him is this position at the top of his half of the map. So kind of towards the center. But even that, actually has just enough tanks defending the southern part to take out these vultures. Actually, no, the 2 of the vultures get by. And now they're going to delay this command center at the 6 o'clock location, which desperately needs to come up for Raynor to stay in this game.
Yeah, the only weird thing that could happen in this game is if Raynor plays perfectly from here and Medino doesn't kill him with BCs immediately, all of a sudden Medino's bases are going to mine out a lot quicker. So there could be some weird alternate reality here where Raynor still could win this game, but it is going to be a massive, massive uphill battle. He's down 20 supply, he is down like 7,000 minerals, and he doesn't even have all the bases on his side of the map.
Yeah, it's just going to be more and more difficult. I think with this drop, coming in here to try to clean this up, Raynor's made one of the best moves he's made, but I mean, is this even going to be enough? Let's find out. So he clears everything off of there, and then what's the next step, Kicks?
Well, he can try and take that base again, but he is going to have to worry about these BCs heading into his second main. There are very few Goliaths down here, very few turrets, and they already have 2-2 upgrades. This is going to be
Yeah, I
incredibly
mean,
difficult. GG.
these are not BCs, they're GGs. Yes, they are. So there we go. GG, Medino takes game number 1 against Rainer.
He does, and that was a really well played game by Medino, to be honest. Given how well he did in Season 1, taking down BuLL in a TVT as well, like, I would have expected Medino to win that game, but he really was controlling that game from the outset, and it almost felt like there was nothing Reina could do. That's just how strong Medino is.
It sure is. Okay, well, that's going to do it for that game. I will say as an honorable mention that Medino is one of the players that will be playing at the Corrupted Cup here in just maybe 3-4 days. So basically next weekend, Corrupted Cup, watch it. Medino will be there. So this is a little bit of a preview, I guess.
Yeah, should be cool. Can't wait to watch it. Let's go into a quick break and we'll be back with game number 2 after this. Okay guys, welcome back. We're here for ReV versus BuLL. We just saw Medino take down Reina in game number 1. And now we're going to be heading into a TVP between FlyMio and Narsil.
Yeah, that's right. We've seen FlyMio play, I think, more recently than we have before. I'm not sure what to think about Narsil, but at least based on the other matches that we'll see today, this should be pretty even. What do you think, Kix?
Yeah, FlyMio, much like Reina, he's kind of appeared for BuLL, I think, every time they've played, which is kind of impressive. I mean, they did join us in round 2 of STPL, which, if you think about it, was just over a year ago. So he's played a lot of games. He has only won 6 of them, but he's been up against some really strong opponents. He did actually lose against Dreamer on Whiteout in his last game, but this is going to be a little bit of a revenge match for him. He's not historically done great against Protoss, but Far and Terrans struggle a lot in that matchup, so not too much to say there. And Narsil has not played very recently at all, I don't believe. The last time he played was back in March, where he lost against Hiro. He's actually only got a 7% win ratio, which is it's certainly a little bit on the low side, but it's good to see him back here again.
Yeah, it actually is. I'm actually nice. It's nice to see players that come from like regions you would just never expect to see a strong Brood War player from. And I understand back in the day like 2006, Nation Wars were gigantic. They were like Armenia was fielding teams. Like there were just teams from everywhere. So I'm not talking about then. I'm talking about like now. So actually really cool. So yeah, I don't know exactly what to think. You can't really look at the win ratio there because it's 7%. So in theory, Narsil might be the weaker player, but who knows? And we're going on to Blitz X Kicks. Why is this map in the map pool?
It's one of my favorite 2-player maps. It was most.
Oh, is that why it's in the map pool?
Yeah, I mean, essentially that's like where all the maps come from. But it was used more recently in the J Star League, which Firebat Hero and Zeus, I think it was, hosted. There were some amazing games on it there. We actually had some great games in the STPL show match series that we did on this map as well. Terran are actually 3-0 against Protoss, but some of them were very, very weird games. So I'm looking forward to getting into this map in the proper season. The teams have had more of a chance to play the maps, practice them as well, and this should be a really explosive TVP to jump us off here in game number 2. Okay, starting us off here in the top left-hand position, we do have the Black Terran fighting for BuLL. It's FlyMio.
And his opponent in the upper right in the red as Protoss, so not a TVT anymore. This is Narsil playing for ReV.
Now, one thing to note already, Narsil is sending out one of his initial probes. He is going to be a little bit cheeky here on this 2-player map. Let's see if he can find a good space of buildable terrain. There is tons of it in the middle of this map. And let's see if FlyMio can deal with it.
Can he deal with it? Kix, that's a good question. I don't know. I'm just excited that there's going to be a proxy. I mean, I'm guessing it's just going to be gateways, but let's see.
Yeah,
still needs to build that pesky cybernetics core.
Well, the cyber core is usually when you're already dying to zealots, but luckily enough, FlyMio is going to make use of the way the map works. He's going to have a depot with a depot with a Rax wall that's going to be zealot tight. So Narsil, as long as he doesn't go for 2 gateways here, should be in a relatively decent spot. But if he goes for 2 gates, then you'll be really far behind against a wall off. Yeah,
no, for sure. I mean, I just didn't expect to see this, but I think it's the wall off obviously is going to be good. If you plan this perfectly, you can get the probe there in time to block the wall off, but that's if you're just like really getting down and dirty. You'd have to proxy the gate like in the natural to make that happen.
Yeah, and this is where it becomes kind of annoying. You can already see FlyMio had to bring another SCV to deal with the probe, because the amount of times you can just lose an SCV without realizing when it like glitches out on the building, and it's like, no, I'm gonna go build it on the dangerous side, and it's like, no, stop. But that happens. We've got the first zealot on the way. It's not going to be able to get into the base, but already Narsil is getting ready to transition out of this. Pylon coming up in the main, gas is done, and we should see the cyber core coming up in the main shortly after as well.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's see. Probe should be maybe not suspicious, but I don't know. What do you think? What tips you off as a Terran player from the probe that there's a proxy out there?
Mainly when the probe is just super aggressive. Like, there's no real reason for a probe to try and delay your barracks if it's in a wall, unless they're going to be sending a zealot at your base. The other telltale sign is if you don't wall off and your gas gets stolen, it's like, well, you have a proxy in the middle. Okay, great. Now I've got to try and deal with that. But luckily enough for FlyMio, he's walled off. This Marine is going to... Oh my god. Narsil's doing a really good job. He's going to have to cancel the Marine, because the zealot blocks the only way in for the Marine. And there we go.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, because the zealot would... Man, upper left is one of the worst spawns for Terran, because anything you wall off with pops out on the outside. So now, you're just going to have to wait until your factory completes something. Imagine you had 1 Marine on the inside. This is totally different. But instead now this... Oh man, this is so potent, Kix.
It is. It's so annoying. It forces you to go into a Vulture as well. Well, you don't necessarily have to, but the core's done and there's going to be a Dragoon coming, and what doesn't deal well with a Dragoon is a Vulture. So, I mean, Narsil's in a really good spot.
Yeah, so really good spot is maybe a little bit of an understatement here. He's going to get tons of damage done, obviously, with the Vulture down. He's going to wait for a little bit more, but he's already started Dragoons, so this is just going to get harder and harder.
Now it is going to be a 2-fact into a starport here off of the 1 base, so going to look to maybe do a drop into the main. One of the major map features of this map is how close the mains are by air, and you can already see he's going to have to just try and hold on to this this wall, which is kind of annoying. It does force you to kind of focus a lot on repairing, and that can really hurt your macro, but it looks like FlyMio is doing a pretty good job so far.
Yeah, he is actually doing okay. I was a little bit skeptical, but let's see what happens here as the Dragoons now try to break up. Repair obviously going to be a huge asset on the Vulture. But okay, the depot's getting healed faster than it's getting damaged, so
Yeah,
never mind.
Dragoon range isn't done, so the Dragoon can't actually hit the Vulture. This is so unfortunate for Narsil, so... And here we go, the tank's out now, so this rush is effectively over.
Yeah, alright. Well, that's it. And eventually now, Flymeo will actually find that gateway. It's not a huge committal, but when you're going for a proxy gate, you kind of want it to deal damage.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate that Narsil didn't do too much, but he did waste a lot of SCV mining time. He also wasted a lot of money on repairs, and he forced out this build that maybe Flymeo didn't want to go for. I mean, 2-fact and a starport on one base, like, that's not really a normal thing to go on, so... We'll have to see how well Narsil can deal with the drop, but it's whether or not he actually knows it's coming, because you would certainly never guess that this would be what was coming towards you.
Yeah, I guess you're definitely right there. So let's see. The mines being laid are kind of preemptive. I would have actually liked to see him lay them down at the middle or the bottom of the ramp, because that's definitely a GG. Like, if you put a mine right in that at the top of the ramp, like what's the Protoss player gonna do?
Well, currently, he can't do anything, but he does need to be careful because he doesn't... Oh, he does. He has 2 Dragoons. They're going to be heading back into his main. I think he sniffed something out, and this is massive.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, don't forget, you can always just try to run up and, deal damage to the front door again. But, oh, look at the Dragoons here, Kicks. Narsil's so smart. Now, he's not going to catch it before the unload, but at least he'll see these coming in.
Yeah, the important thing is he'll be able to focus down some of these mines. If you get mines in your base as Narsil, you're going to be in so much trouble. That's exactly what happened to Tim in the show match. But these Dragoons are hurt from earlier, so this drop is still doing a ton of, or going to do a ton of damage.
Yeah, it actually is. Wow. I didn't necessarily expect this, but it's working remarkably well. Now, is this game-endingly well? Well, Kicks, we're already past the 6-minute curse, but I don't know. It might be a 8-minute curse this time.
Oh, look at this. It looks like Narsil is going to go for a counterattack, but he needs to focus down the SCVs. He can't break through the repair. The repair perfect, but he still does get through. Let's see what the mine drags are like.
Is he going to mine drag?
He nearly did, but I think he focused the mine down. At least the SCV did. But
Well,
yeah, look
now
at
we've
this.
just got Dragoons on SCV action. There is a tank back there, but nice job clicking on the mine to focus it down. SCV's body blocking. Still several SCVs have gone down already, but you can't get through the SCV wall to get to the tank.
Yeah, and he also can't defend his main at the moment. There's 2 siege tanks back there. He lost his robo. And thinking about it, that's his main tech choice. And look at this. He's running 2 Dragoons into the main. They're both going to die. And Flymeo is going to stabilize.
Yeah, Flymeo is doing a remarkably good job. I mean, you say he's stabilizing, but he still doesn't have a natural expansion. So for all intents and purposes, Kicks, it's still a 1 versus 2 base Terran player. Now, granted, there's no mining at the main right now, but he should be able to actually bust out of here. Let's see, the mine drag, actually not actually that good. Ooh, and that's going to make it very hard to bust out of here. Indeed, he's going to send the Dragoons up.
Oh!
Oh, man, that was actually way closer than it should have been. He wishes there was a mine on top of those tanks. There's not. So the Dragoons will just die. And I think this actually might be it. Flymeo's in too good a position in his main.
Yeah, looks like we are going to have double gateways being added on by Narsil. In the bottom left, there is a gateway over in the left-hand side of the map that's doing nothing right now. He can't really afford to build off of it. And the Nexus in the main is going to go down if he's not careful. But he's focusing the wrong tank down.
Ooh, oh, man, that's a tilter right there. Come on. Like, I know you're in a bad spot, but, I mean, when you make moves like that, you're not getting yourself into a better one.
Yeah, look at this. We've got double tank dropping in above the natural here, and that's going to cut off any unit reinforcements from the gateways in the nat, and I think this is bound to be it. There's absolutely nothing that Narsil can do about this anymore.
Well, Kicks, we made it a whole 3 minutes past our 6-minute curse, but I think we're still pretty cursed at this point. Siege tanks pretty invincible in that position, and He's going to maybe even start ferrying units further down. I think this is just a classic example of what happens when you proxy. It doesn't work, and then you just have nothing back at home to defend.
Yeah, losing the Robo was the big deal, but GG, Narsil taps out, and Flight Mio is going to take game number 2.
Okay, all right. Well, Narsil, man, a struggle. Just also because he doesn't have great stats in STPL. I feel like he did go for like a decent way to just get that quick win with the proxy. Yep. But the 1-gate proxy, unless you can get up that ramp, it's just not going to do anything.
Yeah, the one opportunity he had was if he'd have bought all the units that he kind of threw away in the main of Fly Mio. If he had all those back at home, he would have defended the drop fine, and he would have been so far ahead. But in the heat of the moment, when you feel like you're behind because the build you did didn't work, it's really difficult to make decisions like that, and that's the result of that. And we're going to get into game number 3 with the series all tied up when we get back after this short break. See you guys very soon. Neo Arkanoid also makes its appearance in STPL Season 2, a map from 2006. It's from the OGN Star League from back then, one of the early OSLs. And it's a semi-island map. I think one of the first of its kind that got major use after about the year 2004. It's one of a kind. I don't think I've ever seen another map like it. There's temples and power generators absolutely everywhere, making it very difficult to get through the middle of the map. The air units, of course, going to be very important here. The one problem all 3 races are going to have is they're very easy to take second and third bases. They both have gas, but they are blocked by those chrysalises, so it makes it important to build a few aggressive units early on in order to get that second and third gas as soon as you can. Important thing to note, if you do open up that center, the rush distance is very small. Next up, we have the 2009 map that was used in Pro League. It is New Tornado. New Tornado is a relatively standard 4-player map. There is only 3 bases in each corner, very much like Fighting Spirit. That was kind of the... Okay guys, welcome back. We're here for ReV versus BuLL. The scores are all tied up as of this moment. Medinho taking down Raider in game number 1, and Fly Mio bringing it back here, taking us ever closer to that ace match. We go from a best of 5 to a best of 3 as we get into game number 3. It's going to be Dark versus Cruzago. No, wait, have I hosted the wrong replay? I think I've hosted the wrong... Wait. I am so confused. Yeah, I've hosted the wrong replay. That's fine.
Have you?
Yeah, it's supposed to be Dark versus Incomplete. That confused me. But well,
how dare you?
I'm killing esports, man. That's what I do. Let's introduce the players. Playing for BuLL is going to be Dark here. Dark actually played on MSJ last season, I think, possibly, unless I am completely misremembering. I know they had Darkish. Yeah, there's like 4 different players with Dark in the name, so...
I mean, yeah, surprise! There's just so many of them.
Okay, I'm going to rehost the replay, but Dark historically hasn't done great, but he's actually been on a bit of a win streak recently. He won 3 games in a row at the end of Season 1, and his first game in Season 2 he did lose against Hitmap, but that was a pretty cool game. And his opponent, fighting for ReV, it's going to be their captain. It's Incomplete.
Ooh, this is actually really cool. In case you're wondering who Incomplete is, just look at chat and then pick one message out of every 10, and that's Incomplete. So yeah, obviously a really cool guy. He helps organize his team, and he does have double the win rate of the previous Clan Rev representative. So,
Yeah.
we're really moving on up the tier list.
Yeah, and the thing is, Incomplete, like, just to give you a bit of history for him as well while we load up the next replay, Incomplete started off as a Protoss main, and then in the beginning of Season 1, after like 3 or 4 games, he realized there was barely any Terrans, and to try and make it so there was more Terrans, he switched to Terran purely to do that. He is such a king.
Wow. Yeah, doing the Lord's work there, keeping the balance as all things should be. So, nice job.
Okay, if you join the replay, I'll quickly introduce the map as well.
Thought I joined it, Kicks. Oh, you had the wrong one. Never mind.
Yeah.
All right, I
yeah,
feel vindicated.
Okay, so we're going to be heading in to Multiverse. Multiverse, a really fun map. Depending on the spawns, the game can play out very differently. Obviously, if you're in cross spawns, it makes it a little bit easier to use those assimilators in the middle of the map to kind of block off the ground paths, and it makes it more into an island map. But we'll have to see how that's going to go. Incomplete historically hasn't done great against Protoss, but I think we may see a new Incomplete today. So let's have a look as we get into game number 3. It is Incomplete versus Dark. Okay, starting us off here in the 12 o'clock position, we do have the Orange Terran fighting for Rev. It's Incomplete.
That's right, and his opponent on the other side of the map in the magenta Protoss. This is Dark playing for BuLL.
Okay,
yes, hello, Kix.
Yeah, sorry. I just read a message in chat and I'm trying to work out what it actually means, so my bad. I got distracted.
How dare you read chat while you're casting?
He's like, Incomplete will try spinning in this match as he thinks it's a good trick. Now, the only spinning I can think of is in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 7, but I don't think he's going to be using that in a game, so I don't know what spinning is. Hopefully someone can pull me in.
Have you ever heard the old school legend of Rumpelstiltskin?
I've heard of the name, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah, so there's this, I don't know, princess who is like sick, her daughter or whatever, and she like owes a debt, and so her father's imprisoned, and her father has to repay the debt, so he like asks this tiny magic man to like spin this like thread into gold or something, and I don't know, the tiny magic man like betrays him or whatever, and the only way that he can like break the curse or whatever is to like guess this guy's name. Anyway, so he's spinning the thread into gold.
That makes a little bit more sense. One thing.
So clearly that's what's being referenced here.
I mean, can anyone tell you otherwise? Not really. We hold the ultimate power here. Like, what we say goes. Now, Incomplete, just a heads up, to make your wall zealot tight, you want to build the barracks on the left-hand side of the depot, because if Dark was proxying you, like Narsil was doing, you'd be in a little bit of trouble here, because the zealot would just kill your marines, and there's nothing you can do about it. But hopefully, Incomplete is not going to get struck down with a 6-minute curse, because I really kind of want to see a little bit of a longer game from him.
Ooh, yeah. Nobody wants to lose early. Actually, what was the game length that we had last STPL? We had a maybe a 2 minute 30 second BSL game last night. So
that was the CVZ, wasn't it, or something?
Yeah, it was basically an instantaneous build order loss. It was pretty tragic, if you ask me.
Well, the funny thing is, it turns out that Medino has just been like completely trolling Incomplete, I think, because he gave him completely the wrong information. But I guess we'll find out. Now, we do have the factory coming up. There is a zealot coming in, so Incomplete's wall may turn out to hurt him a little bit here. Let's see if Dark can abuse this. But it looks like Dark doesn't want to engage the 2 Marines, so luckily enough his factory finished as well.
Yeah, I mean, you are correct. Luckily, that did happen. Let's see. I mean, what else does he have to look forward to? Obviously, we know on the other side that it's a 2-gate, and actually he does too because he ran his SCV right by.
Yeah, he moved his SCV in a while ago, and now obviously he's dealing with the Zealots, so it's whether or not he actually paid attention to that, because when you're dealing with Zealots in your main, it's really hard to multitask if you're not used to it. But look at this, he's doing a pretty good job, loses a single Marine, but not losing all of them, so that's always a good sign. And that Zealot is almost about to go down. He hasn't lost a single SCV, so good job so far.
Yeah, I'm actually really impressed. So no SCVs lost just yet, but the problem is that if you're not, it's not good enough to just not lose SCVs. The longer that unit stays alive, the more likely it is that we'll team up with another unit trying to enter the base. But I mean, obviously siege tanks are out now, so we're going to see mines out pretty soon, and all of that should help him defend a lot.
Yeah, it looks like he's planning to go for a little bit of an FD push here. Losing 2 of the Marines is going to make it a little bit weaker, but he has, of course, shaved off that Zealot. So you can see Dark is going to immediately pull back. Just to answer chat as well, Incomplete, I think what Medina probably told you is the CC needs to always be on the right of the barracks, but Depot is always on the left. No.
Okay, yeah. Wait, what? What are you talking about, Kick?
So the depot needs to be on the left of the command center, and it needs to be on the left of the depot as well. You probably got the buildings around the wrong way.
Well, no, I actually think that that's not possible, right? I thought you had to do Rax depot, not command center depot, because it doesn't work.
Yeah, no, but you can do command center Rax. If the Rax is on the right of the CC, it's tight. It's confusing. Walls in Brood War are just too weird. Luckily enough, we're not Protoss.
That is pretty lucky. Every day I wake up and I'm not Protoss, I'm like, wow, I'm pretty lucky right now.
Okay, well we've got Incomplete pulling a few SCVs with this, wanting to put on a lot of pressure. No Vulture just yet, but the mines are done. Let's see what the repairs like on these tanks, because Dark already has a decent number of those Dragoons, and he's going to push this back.
Yeah, he does. I'm actually really impressed, but he's got to watch out for the mines. Obviously, this is where they... Oh, no! So he just loses 2 Dragoons for free, and now the shoe is on the other foot.
Yep, all of a sudden, Incomplete, who was running away, drove him back into the mines. Obviously, Dark didn't need to take that damage, but it's... Oh, no, he's going to lose his tanks. This is going to be huge if he gets those. Yeah, both the tanks go down. No repair can save them. But the Vulture's getting in to try and put some mines down, but the Observer's done now.
Well, I mean, the Observer is done, and that's the only reason he's still in this game, especially after losing the extra Dragoons earlier. So now he's actually going to take a pretty good trade there. The only problem is that, oh, by the way, there's a bunker in your main. So definitely don't want that to be used.
Oh, I didn't even see that was coming up, so yeah, that was nice by Incomplete. A little bit optimistic, but unfortunately he didn't get there, and now we're going to have the problem of Incomplete having mines, and that being the only major component that's keeping him alive. But with the Observer already out, he can't actually save this bunker, so we're going to have to see if that works out. The tank is here. Can he get siege mode? I don't think he's actually finished siege mode just yet, but at least he survives. That's the important thing.
Well, Incomplete has not gotten siege mode, just to clarify that.
Yeah, it's almost
maybe
finished.
20-30 seconds away from finishing, maybe even a little less than that. But after taking that little engage arena out on the map, I don't know how well Dark's going to be able to do. Obviously, he did come back, and he does actually have an army doing things, but let's see if he can break in, because it's a very well defended natural for Incomplete.
Yeah, one thing I do want to point out is Incomplete's SCV production has been really good this game. He's actually ahead in SCVs despite losing about 4 of them in the middle of the map. And Dark's had 2 bases for a while now, so really well done by him on that front. Obviously, he's going to be a little bit further behind now the 3rd base is done, or at least it's coming up for Dark. And just one thing to point out about this 3rd is you cannot get there by ground unless you're a worker mineral walking through the installation gates, which are these things. So we're going to see, or this dropship that can come out the starport is going to be very important.
All right, well, let's keep an eye on not only the Observer in Incomplete space, but see what happens when that pesky dropship comes out.
Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate for Incomplete. The Observer saw the starport. because all it means is we should see a shuttle coming out of the robo for Dark as soon as possible, but Incomplete is trying something, and that's when you're in this position, you kind of need to make something happen. Now he is going to go Armory Academy, so his +1 attack is going to be coming in. Obviously he could go like fast science vessels or maybe even fast ghosts, but that would be a little bit technical.
Yeah, I guess you have a really good point there, Kix. It could be technical. I think the biggest thing is not how technical either player is playing. It's just like you just got to get to that place, right? So let's see what that place looks like. By that place, I mean like for Dark, he has to just get to a position where he is not going to have to worry about anything coming over to his side of the map. So the only thing really to worry about now with that soft contain setup is going to be shuttles, or dropships, rather.
Yep, and he's got the Observer seeing for this. He also scouts the number of factories. I mean, there's only one at the moment. The second one is only now just coming in, which is super late. So he is going to be able to intercept this dropship, but I don't think there's a shuttle just yet. So he can't actually go and defend this base, but he is already building 2 cannons down there. Oh, it is 1 cannon, but that should be enough to hold off 4 vultures even.
Now, I don't know about that, Kix. I mean, it's going to kill the vultures, sure, but it won't prevent them from running in and killing a bunch of probes. So, I mean, first of all, how do the vultures get down there? And second of all, I mean, I guess let's see when they do.
Yeah, well, the dropship's coming in. Oh, he's actually going to divert. He's going to go into the main here. This is actually a pretty good play. If he can drop some mines down on these gateways. Dark's base is really not well defended for someone who saw a dropship leave the base with an observer. So this could do a lot of damage.
Well, I'm waiting for it. I think the vultures had a lot of potential there, but ultimately the only thing they really accomplished is laying mines down, and there's an observer right there to clean the mines up back up. So, ooh, I don't know, man. This is not looking great. Incomplete continues to try to get units in everywhere he can, but now he's dropping 30 supply down. I understand that this is kind of the way it's supposed to look with supply counts, but this is starting to get a little out of control.
Yeah, now the one benefit he does have is he can take this top right base with the command center he just built. And the benefit of that drop as well is information. He saw that the Templar Archives was done and the Stargate, so he should know that there is going to be Arbiters coming his way, so that at least gives him the ability to defend against them. But how is he going to defend this top right base against something he can't even get units to? And the dropship's going to get intercepted.
Yeah, so excellent job there by Dark, moving his Dragoons up to the upper left. That's the most likely place to drop through, so it doesn't make a whole... It's not like it takes rocket science, but it's still smart. You still don't see every player do that every game.
Yeah, finally Dark actually made use of his observer in the main. He obviously knows how many factories there are, so he knows he doesn't need to spam a ton of gates right now. And he's already actually going into Storm, so we're going to see a more Jangby-esque style of PvT. It's not often you see Storm from Protoss against Terran, but it is incredibly powerful.
You know, it definitely is. I think the other thing that's incredibly powerful is going to be like the way that he uses it, because he's also got stasis as well. Dude, if you can time Storm with stasis expiry, woo, child, that's good.
It is. It's very difficult to do. Obviously, you also run into the ability of Terran to be able to focus down the High Templar, which is something that's kind of funny to see, especially after stasis wears off and like all of the Protoss units somehow evaporate. But Dark is going to be taking a 4th base down in the bottom right. Incomplete is trying to expand to the top left, or the top right even, but his SCVs are a little bit stuck, so he's going to be building a ton of turrets to defend against the possible recall.
I'm waiting for it. I mean, wait, he doesn't have recall, does he?
Yeah, no, I don't think he has it just yet, but he is going for his first Arbiter, so... I mean,
so getting stasis first kind of telegraphs that he actually wants to fight a little bit more heads up and then use that stasis as an advantage instead of just waiting longer and longer and then trying to get the recall into the main.
Yeah, in a way it's probably a good idea, because recall is kind of a tool that will win you the game if the recall goes perfectly, but it also gives you the ability to kind of put yourself in a bad situation and give Incomplete a way back into the game, because I've seen it so much in pro games as well. Like Protoss players will be like, "Oh, I'm so far ahead. I'm just gonna dump all my units in the Terran base," and then they all die and they trade perfectly, and it's like not good.
No, that fulfills the not good category. You're correct there, Kix. Whew. All right, well, for the time being, I would say that Dark is still in a great spot. He might need to, stop these vultures from getting across the map to do critical damage. But aside from vultures, dude, if vultures are your biggest problem, and you already have 5-6 bases up, I don't know how big your problems truly are.
Yeah, and the thing is, the vultures are going to get down here and scout this, but there's actually no probes, so he doesn't need to worry about losing anything like that. Well, there is a single probe in the main, and it's going to be building a gateway farm, but the vulture, like, it doesn't really matter if this probe dies. He's going to be able to transfer a ton more down there. Dark is kind of sitting idly with his army. He's waiting to get maxed before he jumps in. Once again, as with the problem with recalls, like if you just suddenly throw all your units, it's not good. Yeah. So he's just going to play to get more ahead.
It's definitely a double-edged sword. If you go for it, then you have to deal a ton of damage. Otherwise, you might just get counterattacked to lose the game. So obviously something to think critically about.
So we've got cannons coming up here for Dark. He's going to add his gateways down here as well. And you know you're in a bad spot as Terran when a Protoss player takes another main. He gets a ton of gateways down there, because all of a sudden it goes from being a game where you only have to worry about pushing one base to, I'm going to push now, but units can come from the other side of the map and kill me. So we're going to see Incomplete try and push out. This is a little bit optimistic of him, but Incomplete seems to be a very optimistic person, because he's only on 130 supply against 200, so this is going to be difficult.
I love how you put that. It's like, well, he's just usually very optimistic. I hope that... Wait, is he going to do a total recall? He's got the 2 High Templar.
There's no reason to. He's actually just moving them all, getting ready.
Kicks! Of course there's a reason to. I want to see it.
That is a very good point. Let's do the total recall. Dark, if you're listening in the past, it's now time.
He's got the High Templar in the middle of this ball. I hope that this is for the total recall.
I mean, I think
in reality it's probably not, but I hope so.
Yeah, I think his units are just kind of bugging out. He's probably got them mixed up with his others. Now, a couple of the observers are going down, but Incomplete pushing forward here. Yes, he takes a strong position, but he's not really securing anything by doing this. This isn't like Fighting Spirit, where you push forward and you suddenly gain access to another base. Like, you're going to have to push far to the top left if you want to secure that fully. And the further you go to the left, recalls are coming into main.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Or the dropship gets intercepted.
Yeah, that's not where you want it to be. I mean, to be honest, there's sneakier paths the dropship can take, Kicks. So it's not like that dropship had a 100% success rate even beforehand. Now let's watch the Zealots run through. A first storm kind of whiffs, so that's not great. But he still has 2 more banked up.
Yeah, I think what Incomplete's trying to do here now is trap Dark's army in the bottom right. There's not that much there, but that'd still be a good choice to make if he can block that off. Suddenly his 150 supply is only fighting against half of Dark's army, so we'll have to see if that's possible. Oh, EMP on the Arbiter as well. That's losing the vessel, but it's worth it.
Wait, which is worth it?
Lose it. If you get the EMP and you lose the vessel, it's still good.
I mean, I don't know about that, Kicks, because like if you lose the vessel, then that's just gone. But if you EMP the Arbiter, it's going to get its energy back eventually.
But the good thing is, at least it blocks him from being able to stasis you right away, and it blocks him from being able to recall you right away as well. It takes a long time for Arbiters to get their energy back. And look at this. Incomplete's blocking off these units, and he's starting to creep forward with his tanks.
Yeah, he is actually making remarkable progress. For somebody who's being kind of soft contained on a map where that's actually really easy if it happens right outside your third. I don't know. He should be really thankful there's nothing else going into his main right now while he's having to do all of this.
Yeah, this is one of the benefits of getting that EMP off, because suddenly you don't have to worry about the recall from the Arbiter. Now, unfortunately, he couldn't push forward super quickly, so he hasn't been able to block the units from fully being able to get back. But if you cut off those gases in the middle, how is Dark going to make use of his gateways in the bottom middle of the map? He's not going to be able to get his units across to attack. So incomplete.
Wait, which cast is in the middle?
The so you know the assimilators, the Vespine geysers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
recool.
Yeah, there it is. Actually, not in a terrible location, but he does need to get on top of the tanks defending it. He does, for the most part, clear everything out that he needs to. Catches the SCVs leaving and kills, I think, every single one. Yeah, every single SCV from that base just died. Wow, that's tragic. Now they both still have huge SCV numbers, but it's not not what you want to have happen. That upper right-hand base just totally gone.
Yep.
Beautiful drop there by Dark.
Incomplete's fully mined out of his main. He's about to be finished mining out from his natural. Both of them have massive banks right now, but I mean, Incomplete needs this base to stay in the game. He is continuing to push forward. Dark, it almost feels like this. Oh, he recalled his units back out. Nice. I was going to say, it's like Dark is sitting AFK and just kind of letting Incomplete push forward, but yeah, it feels like the replay's bugged. It's strange.
Yeah, it's definitely bugged. Yeah,
Really?
this replay is definitely bugged. I mean, their minerals aren't going down.
That is a good point. But
Yeah. Okay, so we should probably
wait,
it's not?
Incomplete's building depots, so
Oh, it is. Yeah. Wait, what were they just like not spending money for like a minute?
Well, I mean, Dark was fully maxed out, so he couldn't spend money. Here we go. It looks like he's going to push forward.
Okay, never mind. This is the most bugged replay it's ever looked like without it being bugged. Stasis in the front kind of helps the tanks in the back, protects them from vultures or from zealots, but in the end, there's just so little here for Incomplete that everything gets mowed over by Dark.
Yeah, he's got a good number of storms there as well. Some of the units are actually stuck in the top right still, but it doesn't matter. Incomplete losing his entire army. Dark has 5 bases worth of mining still. He had, oh my god, oh no way. High template mine drags into 2 tanks there and kills it, but yeah, Dark did trade away his entire army, but he has the money to rebuild. And that's exactly what he's going to do. So the replay is definitely not bugged. It did look a bit weird, but yeah, Incomplete is going to try and secure this top left base, but with what army?
A tank and 4 vultures. 3 vultures. A tank and 2 vultures. A tank and 2 vultures. Alright, nope, that's not gonna cut it, Kicks. He needed slightly more than a tank and 2 vultures. GG, Incomplete taps out. And that's gonna be Dark, putting another point on the board for BuLL.
It is. I mean, that wasn't the... It's kind of strange because that wasn't the best game for Incomplete, but he did a lot of things really well. He built his SCV count really nicely. Given the bad situation he had at the start of the game as well, he did well to come back to the point he did, but unfortunately being unable to defend that top right base meant that he was in more of a hurry, I think, to push. And when you do that, all of a sudden, everything becomes a lot harder, and you saw that, I mean... Dark just ran through his army, and unfortunately that was the way the cookie crumbled. So let's get into game number 4 when we get back after this short break. See you guys very soon. Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. Well, I was playing an EGM fight night, and it just so happens in round 1 I played up against Terra. I've always said that I have bad micro, but this was on another level. StarCraft released 20 years. Ah! Okay guys, welcome back. We're here for game number 4 between BuLL and ReV. Let's go in to introduce our players. Starting off for BuLL, we're going to have Cruzago. He did actually start Season 1 on DM. Then something happened, he left DM or he got kicked out of DM or something. He's ended up on BuLL regardless. He's one of the only Chilean players, one of the only non-Bolivian players as well on BuLL, so a pretty big honor to have there. He's 2 for 2 in his recent games. He's not played too many of them, so not much to say there. And his opponent is not going to be Caspus. I don't know why it says that. I will fix that while we introduce the map. It's going to be on Whiteout.
Okay, all right, yes, Whiteout. Wait, I can trust these game stats. Yes, okay, the game stats look, everything adds up here. So currently 100% PVT win rate. So, actually 100%,
Yeah.
what is it? PvP win rate. What, wait, did
Yes,
Hard Rain really play Protoss?
Yes, Hard Rain was Protoss. It seems I maybe, like, some people have certain long names that make it really difficult to fit everything on, so I may need to, like, adjust the font size for that. I've never really noticed that before, because Hard Rain has, like, 5 N's in his name or something. It's kind of stupid.
Nice. You should, yeah, make code to scale the font size based on the distance. That would be your coding project for the day.
That would be crazy. I don't think I'm
Oh,
good enough for that.
I just exited the replay. All right, I'm bad.
Okay, well, at least we weren't.
I'm sorry. We all, yeah. Also, I'm very tired. I did not nap before STPL, so that's my excuse. I'm gonna play that card at least once every broadcast until I finally actually fall asleep while I cast Brood War. Ugh, it's been a long week. We had BSL 2 nights in a row, and now STPL right after. So, I'm doing my best. But okay, I'm in the lobby for this game. We should be able to get in there.
Let's get started. It's gonna be Cruzago versus CRVT. It's a PvP on Whiteout. Okay, starting us off in the bottom middle position, we do have the red Protoss fighting for ReV. It's CRVT.
No, your probes are not moving slowly. They're just... He just wishes they moved faster. His opponent in the dark blue is going to be Cruzago.
Yeah, it looks like maybe they were having a little bit of trouble with latency. I guess CRVT he's European, but I can't work out the flag because I'm bad with geography. But CRVT's in chat, so hopefully we'll be able to confirm. But it is going to be Europe versus South America, which isn't exactly the best connection. So I think they must have knocked it up to extra high on latency. But that's fine. We didn't cause any lag because we weren't casting live, so it's all good. It's not our fault.
Not our fault. Don't blame us, guys. Yeah. Okay. So back to the matter at hand. Another Actually, I guess this is our first one of the day. It feels like there's a disproportionate amount of PvPs this season, but actually, no, there's more of the other matchups. I'm just
Yeah.
biased. So this is a PvP, but I'm just waiting. Which matchup do you think there's been more of than all the others?
So
Kicks?
far this season, I think it's actually Terran versus Protoss, which is crazy. Like,
Really?
yeah, last season, like, Terrans were so rare, especially in the early rounds, that it was like, I thought I would never get to see any foreign Terrans. And then Koga appeared. I think Koga was the first major Terran who joined. And then you had, like, Terra joined as well, Dandy joined, and then Ultra joined. And then from there, it kind of grew up and grew up. And now we've actually got, like, a ton of Terrans, and somehow we're actually avoiding a ton of PvP despite the amount of Protoss they're getting sent out. So we're all good.
Well, we gotta have the PvP sooner or later. And yeah, this is a PvP. So what's the build looks like? Kicks, identical. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, it's always the same. There is kind of like a mirror on the wall in PvP. I don't know how, but somehow both... I guess it's because both players are linked to the Kala, so they just know exactly what build to go.
That's right, the union of all thought and emotion.
Who would have thought it would extend out of the game, but it does, because every PvP is seemingly some kind of mirror build. Now, there was a bit of a difference. We did see Krizago skip... Wait. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. I was going to say skip Zealot, but there's one on his ramp, so it's going to be Dragoon range off of one gateway. Now, we're going to have a very quick Citadel here from Krizago, and that's a component to DT opening.
It sure is, Kicks. So DT versus, I hope it's 2-gate Robo. Okay, I mean, he only has one gateway so far, so I'm waiting. I'm watching.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why he's delaying his tech, but I guess he's kind of unsure what to do. Maybe he's waiting to see what his opponent's doing. But unfortunately, there's 2 units at the ramp already. Krizago isn't going to look to be aggressive, of course, because he does not want to let these units get in, because Templar Archives is on the way.
Yeah, and no, that's so key to, deny that information. So let's see what happens. Probius is out on the map. He's trying to get in to scout this. Will he be able to? Kicks?
Well, I think the important thing he's just seen is the lack of units, so he should know that there's only one gate on the opponent's side. The Zealot's actually going to go back to try and block scouting once again, because obviously when you're going DTs, the important thing is if your opponent does not defend against it, you just auto-win. But we do have a Robo on the way for CRVT. CRVT previously in PvP has played a little bit defensively, so I'm hoping there's going to be an Obs coming up, but regardless of the outcome, this game could be very one-sided.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be like 6-minute curse one-sided, but let's see. First 2 DTs are already out on the map, and I'm waiting for the observatory.
They're Dragoons. They're about to finish, though. DTs are almost done. Yeah,
okay,
we've got the observatory coming up and the support base. So there is going to be an observer. Now, whether or not he builds the observer before the shuttle or before a ReV is going to be super important here, because both buildings take, I think, exactly the amount of same time to build. Oh no, there's going to be a ReV first. This could be devastating.
Oh no! No, wow! Oh gosh, no! My eyes, Kicks. Okay, well, I think we can kind of predict how the rest of this game is going to go.
Well, one thing that I would like to point out, back in Season 1, there was a legendary PvP that DeWalt played where he used Scarab splash damage on his own units to kill the DTs. Now, you can see the DTs are going to go up, they're going to block, or he's going to block at least for the time being with his Dragoons the best he can, but the DTs are going to get in the base. There's absolutely nothing, he's going to let them in. He cancelled his ReV, he's trying to build an OBS, but the DTs are going to focus down the Robo.
Oh no, I mean, doesn't he just auto-lose?
I think so, I think the DTs
are going to... Oh, does the Observer get out? I think the Observer's going to get out seconds before the Robo dies.
Oh my goodness. How unbelievably luckily timed, I would say. I wouldn't say that was well timed for sure, but he saves his... he doesn't save his Robo, but he saves himself in this game. Behind this, Krizago's going for a Nexus. He's gone for 2 cannons as well. Important to go anti-DT when you're going for DT. Otherwise, you get a game like Noob versus Best. in the ace match of the STPL Season 1 final. But both of them now going for Nexuses, so the game's going to go on a little bit longer.
That's so... Oh my god, that's so stupid! For all intents and purposes, Cruzago should win this game. He should already have the W. He should be out of this game, sipping Mai Tais on the beach. But no, instead he has to keep playing this game for some dumb reason. That dumb reason is because Brood War is amazing.
Not only that, but the dumb reason is he didn't actually kill CRVT. The only thing he actually managed to kill was about 1 Dragoon, a Zealot, and a Robo. And the Robo is going to be rebuilt, so that's not a massive problem. And look at this, CRVT is going to go into his own Templar Archives. Wait, is he not going to build his Robo again?
Wait, what? I mean, I guess he doesn't... Yeah, but he still has his support pay.
Yeah. I
Why
guess
would
maybe
you
he's delaying it a little bit. Maybe getting your own DCs, maybe you could do a little bit of counter damage, but unfortunately there is cannons at the front. Now if he had a Robo and he built a shuttle and DT dropped the main, like, Cruzago doesn't have a Robo yet. There is absolutely no detection in his main whatsoever.
I thought that there'd be like a cannon or something, Kix. No. No, he actually just has nothing.
Okay, I mean, he should add a cannon, but luckily enough for him, CRVT hasn't rebuilt the Robo, so he doesn't actually need to worry. Like, if there was a shuttle and a Reaver, or even a shuttle and DTs, it's just game over.
Cruzago now building 3 pylons at the same time, because for a little bit there he was supply block arenoed, but no, that should be pretty well remedied right now. And now the game is going to be this annoying passive monster that I did not expect it to get into, because I actually thought that CRVT was dead. But he's not dead, Kix. He's still playing.
Yeah, like, imagine in that split second he didn't cancel his Reaver and built the Obs. All of a sudden this game was over. Like, there was literally 1 hit on the DT away from the Robo dying when the Observer popped, so it just goes to show how crazy PvP can actually be. And I mean, CRVT, he's not going to be able to do anything against Cruzago now. And Cruzago is just going to look to take a 3rd base because he knows how far ahead he is. But he's behind in supply, so he's not that far ahead. CRVT actually has more probes.
Wow, now, dude, I'm so, once again, shout out to the probe count. I would not have noticed that if we hadn't had that. Maybe I could glance at it, but that is actually gigantic. So CRVT has a lot more probes, but he also has to not die. So let's watch these Stormy boys moving forward.
That's a lot of Storm as well.
Quite a bit. Dude, this navy blue looks so dope on these Dragoons. Oh my god, I'm loving it. Oh, for Storm, how good is it? Pretty good there, Kix.
It is. I mean, he's got so many Storms right now. He's just going to be constantly blanking CRVT's army. There's absolutely... Oh my god, the Storms are so good. He's killed everything with Storm. And GG.
He really just... It's like... what the theme song to John Cena says, that he's storming on these chumps like there's thunder and lightning. That's pretty much what we just saw. He just walked up, stormed his whole army, and then won the game. Wow. Yeah. Okay, that's how you do it, guys.
Funny thing is, you said like it's like John Cena's theme, and all I could think of is the bit that goes did, and I was like, what, with him going in the bass? And you're like, no lyrics, and I'm like, what? There's lyrics to that song? But yeah, I mean,
there is. There's actually, it's I think it's the most selling or World Wrestling it's not Federation, it's entertainment album. It's the highest selling WWE album that they've ever released. Is the one with his theme song on it. So that's how I know.
It's a pretty sick theme song, and it's a really good meme as well. So having a quick look at these results, Medinho took game number 1, but Flymeo, Dark, and Cruzago with the triple threat pulling it back. getting BuLL their first win, I believe, in Season 2, and knocking Clan ReV off of their win streak. Unfortunately, Avi wasn't available as well. Maybe if Avi was there, he could have done something against Cruzago, and we could have gone into like an ace match or something. But no ace match in this game. We do get robbed of a Neo Arkanoid game, but of course, that's going to be a good game for BuLL, and it keeps it closer as well if all the teams are close together. Now, we are going to go into a quick break. I understand you are going to head off, Rapid, and get some well-deserved rest. But when I get back, I will be here for Red versus Naz, so don't go anywhere. And thanks for casting, Rapid. Any closing words?
No problem. No, just thanks for understanding, everyone out there. It's super late, and I've had like 2 days of BSL and then this. So I made it for a little bit, but I will actually fall asleep. Kix is going to tell like some sick joke, and he's going to get that, what is it, like the greater than :D sign on his face, waiting for my reaction. And I'm just going to like be totally knocked out. And then he's going to put the camera on me just because he's a mean, terrible overlord. And then you guys are going to watch me sleep while I cast. So that's not going to happen.
Yep.
I know it would. So I'm going to go to bed and maybe, oh, dude, if I hurry, I'll be in bed before 6 a.m. Yes.
Nice.
Okay, anyway, it was a great first series. I'm glad I got to watch those games, but I got to go. So enjoy the second series, guys. Tweet me the results, and I'll see you guys next time.
Yep.
Actually, no, I won't. Actually, yes, I will. That's right. So I will be leaving with Artosis on the 10th. That's in 2 days. So I guess technically I could. No, actually, I think I have to leave before. I have to leave for the airport before STPL would end. So I don't actually think I'll be casting any more STPL until Corrupted Cup. So see you guys at Corrupted Cup. Go watch that and watch the rest of STPL tonight. So bye.
Yep. See you, Rapid. See you guys in just a few minutes for series number 2.